Start by making each baseboard joint disappear with tight cuts and correct fitting so the eye sees continuous trim instead of seams. Measure twice and cut once, and always confirm angles with a reliable protractor or angle finder so your miter saw is set precisely to 90 degrees or the specific wall angle you measured. For outside corners, use back-to-back miters cut at 45 degrees and test fit them dry before applying adhesive so you can adjust any slight mismatch by sanding the back of the shorter edge. For inside corners, cope rather than miter by cutting the profile on the face with a coping saw so the shaped edge fits over the face of the adjoining board and leaves no shadow line. To cope, cut a tight miter first, then remove the waste by sawing along the profile and pare to fit with a sharp chisel. Always apply a thin bead of wood glue to long joints and a small amount of construction adhesive at the backside where the board meets the wall to prevent gaps from opening with humidity changes. Then nail through the face or into the top and bottom where appropriate and set the nails slightly below the surface. When you have small remaining gaps, use paintable latex caulk. Run a smooth continuous bead and tool it with a wet finger or a caulking tool to force caulk into the seam and feather it onto both surfaces, keeping excess off the visible profile. For larger gaps, first fill with a flexible wood filler or painter quality gap filler, sand smooth after curing, and then apply caulk for the final seal. Finally, sand any filler flush, prime bare wood or filler, and apply at least 2 coats of finish paint with thin layers so brush marks are minimized and the joint visually disappears into the surrounding trim. Common mistakes are cutting angles by eye, which yields uneven gaps, and the simple fix is to measure the wall angle with a protractor and set the saw precisely instead of guessing. A second frequent issue is relying on miter joints for inside corners, which often show a small shadow gap over time. So learn coping and practice on scrap to make joints that remain tight despite seasonal movement. The third problem is overfilling or under-tooling caulk, which leaves visible blobs or recessed seams. So apply a consistent bead, tool it immediately to force caulk into the gap, wipe the excess with a damp cloth and sand lightly after curing if needed before painting. At bighomeprojects.com, we help homeowners connect with local contractors by listing professionals and letting users share real project experiences so you can see how others solved similar trim issues. We also help contractors find work and showcase their craftsmanship, and our site includes an active discussion community where tradespeople and homeowners exchange tips, ask questions, and post photos of finished work.